Sweated to the truth, nothing but the truth. Put my hands on the Bible, y'all point me to the booth. Sweated to the truth.
What's going on, people? It's your boy, Young Patriarch. We are back with another episode. Still on this Balenciaga scandal. There is more that continues to unveil itself as we go down this rabbit hole. We are seeing so many more photos and so many more disturbing things that are popping up that these people have been doing. And we also have people who have been speaking out. Of course, it's not the ones who are getting paid by them, but it's the ones that have been canceled, that have been deemed as crazy, that have been deemed as the outcast, who have been deemed as anything but popular or good. You know what I'm saying? Today we have for you Andrew Tate. Start off by saying right now, first and foremost, I don't agree with everything that this man says. However, with this and what he says, it's 2 minute and 29-second video. I most definitely do. But I will say this. I said it before and I'm gonna say it again. God is willing to use anybody that is going to stand for the truth. And I'll just and I'm gonna keep on echoing that. And so I think it's important for us to not be so quick to judge and stand over people with the gavel and be ready to bang the altar or whatever it is that the judges have, bang the stand. But get into the word of God for ourselves, study to show ourselves approved, and learn how to chew the meat and spit out the bone. But man, I want to say something real quick before I play this video. It's funny to me. This reminds me, speaking of those who we deem as crazy or the bad guys, you know what I'm saying, or we cancel. This reminds me of the movie Bird Box. My wife and I watched it a long time ago. We don't watch movies like that anymore now, but we did. We were watching them then. But so anyway, don't judge. But anyway, I'm gonna make this short. This reminds me of the movie Bird Box. Folks not familiar with that, movie that came out on Netflix, starring Sandra Bullock, where these demonic entities were people we couldn't actually see on the screens, but the people could see with their eyes, and they would basically cause the people to commit suicide. Well, long story short, so Sandra Bullock gets to the place or wherever she was going and gets to the house, and it seems that they're in a good and safe environment. What they do is black out the whole house as far as the windows and things like that are concerned, to keep from seeing these demonic entities so that they won't commit suicide. Well, there was a guy in there, his name was Douglas, and he was the one who always seemed like the sourpuss, or the one who was always negative, the one who didn't nobody want to deal with, the one they was writing off and counseling him or whatever. And it's crazy the whole time that he's saying things, people just aren't listening. But the things that he's saying literally are the things that would have saved the people. Remember, he told them not to open the door for the one female, who ended up opening the door for the guy, who basically exposed them to all the demonic entities. They ended up basically wrapping this man up and tying him up and putting him off into the garage, when the whole time he was telling the truth. And they really got me to thinking. Like, how many movies have we watched to where they made the guy who was telling the truth, or the guy who was speaking common sense to save everybody's life? How many of those movies have they made these people look like the pessimist, or look like the sour butts, or you know what I'm saying, the ones who nobody wanted to deal with. They was canceling and just like writing them off. Man, put some movies, comment some of those movies in the comment some of those movies down there in the comment section, because I really want to know. But without further ado, I'm not gonna hold you any longer. But like, comment, share, subscribe, click that link. It's down there in the description box if you all want to support. We have a sale going on. Things are 10% for discount. Things are 10%. Things are 10% off. But without further ado, bro, let's do this.
Ciphered it must have been. Why are they doing this? And I don't think many people understand why a brand like Balenciaga would so openly show the world that they are trying to promote pedophilia.
Tell them.
I'll tell them why. So some could argue that they're trying to advertise it and encourage it. Normalize. And that is the case. That is what they're trying to do. Yep. It actually goes a level deeper than that. Satanists, people who worship Satan, believe in karmic retribution.
So we hear that. It says Satanists. Let me get the screen right first, man. Here we go. This is the one I want. So he says Satanists. Talking about the Balenciaga scandal, he says Satanists. One of the main things that we've been talking about for some time now, and we've been constantly just seeing things like this in the media, seeing things, seeing certain signs and certain symbols, and just certain things in videos and things that people have been saying and things that people have been doing. But yet oftentimes we kind of just write it off and just act like, oh, well, this is just to get sales up, or they're talking about the stuff just to bring more money in, or just to get more publicity. It's a publicity stunt, but you see, the first thing that he says is Satanists. So, and talks about karmic retribution, and he's going to go into that. Let's see what he got to say.
They believe that they can suffer the consequence of lying and tricking you. So the very simple premise is this. If I sell poison apples and I write apples and you come and eat one, I poisoned you. But if I sell poison apples and I have a sign that says apples, they're poison, and you come and eat one, you committed suicide. I haven't murdered you. You've committed suicide.
That's what Satanists believe.
Satanists believe by telling you what they're doing, they don't have any karmic retribution. I'm not responsible for the constant. I'm not responsible for all the negative fallout from my actions if they understood what I was doing and allowed me to do it. This is.
So you see what he's saying? He's saying that basically they're putting it right in front of your face. They're basically putting it right in front of your face and letting you know that, hey, we're into pedo. We're into these sick, demonic things. And we're basically telling you so that when you still shop with us, or when you still choose to stream us, or when you still choose to go to our concerts or whatever, we won't be punished. We won't be punished for the things that we've done, because we weren't in a secret about it. We were in the open, and you will be punished. You'll be punished for it because you participated in it, knowing what we were doing. And so this is what he says that Satanists believe, cut themselves out of, or they get out of the suffering that should come when they should die, or whatever the case may be, because they basically informed you of what they did, and they out in the open with it, so they're not guilty.
why they show you and tell you what they're doing. If I show you and tell you that we are pedophiles and you continue to buy our products, then you're supporting pedophilia, and you're obviously okay with us being pedophiles. If I do it hidden behind your back, then you can argue and say, I didn't know they were pedophiles. But by showing you, I've shown you I'm a pedophile, you still want to wear my t-shirt. So obviously what I'm doing is okay. And this karmic retribution model and the way that Satanists view the world, and when I say Satanists, I genuinely mean people who worship real Satan.
Yeah.
The people who are in charge of these brands and in charge of the Western world and in charge of the Matrix genuinely worship Satan. When you understand the idea of karmic retribution, you can apply that to so many scenarios. They're doing this.
Straight up, bro. You know, and a lot of people won't, it seems like a lot of people won't get that, you know, like there's a difference in not knowing something, and then you're in, you know, like you're in support of, or I wouldn't say so much in support of, but you're buying things or whatever. You know, say this big time franchise was part of some type of crooked schemes and things going on that you knew nothing about. But you were, you know, but you still like what they sold or what they had to offer, like their prices and things like that. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you were in the dark. I won't say so much in the dark about it, but you didn't know. However, the things come to actually come to light about it, point blank out in our face, and you still choose to shop with these people. Then literally what you're doing is you're funding what they got. You're funding what they have going on. And that's what he's saying. And that's true. You know, again, when we stream a lot of these artists and things like that, a lot of these artists who's talking about killing and stealing, drug dealing, popping pills, and, you know, degrading women, and you know, perpetuating anger and violence and all of these things. When we stream their music, when we go to their shows, when we buy the stuff on iTunes and things like that, we're basically giving to the furthering, the promoting of this garbage. You know, the only way that we are able to keep businesses going is if you are giving them your money, you are giving them your support. If we stop going to McDonald's today, if everybody chose to boycott McDonald's or stop going, I'm not saying that, so don't, you know what I'm saying? So don't go around saying I said that, but I'm just using them as an example. If we just stop giving them our money today, literally they would go out of business after a while, because they can't stand it can't stand without money. It can't stand without us giving it its money, because businesses are here to serve. If a business served itself, that business would not last long at all. If it would even be constructed or built. Because businesses, if an apple tree is feeding itself, if an apple tree is eating its own apples, that means something is poison inside of that apple tree. Something is dead inside of that apple tree. You get what I'm saying? So they're here to serve. They're here to serve us. And so when we supporting these people, and when we are giving them our time and our effort and our money and things like that, we basically showing, hey, we come into agreement with this garbage. You know, keep it going.
With everything. Karmic retribution isn't just about Balenciaga. Let's look at the recent scam of COVID. They made it very clear to you it was bullshit. They made it very clear that the virus isn't going to hurt you.
They made it clear that they didn't listen. They disobeyed the mask laws.
Yeah, they made it very clear to you it was all stupid. So that when you still...
Boy, talk. Talk, bro. Facts, though. Facts. And they might have been saying one thing about it, but Real talk. Like when people was out there protesting or whatever, right, man, wasn't nobody, you know, BLM, wasn't nobody worrying about no mask. You know, when you seen a lot of these politicians and things come up and you know, why this thing was going on tough, man, folks wasn't wearing no mask. They told you the stuff when they told you the mask didn't work. You know, people still chose to wear it. You know what I'm saying? So like it was them basically, and even if they didn't say it with their mouth, just them showing you like, bro, this thing is really a joke. No, you know what I'm saying? This thing is really a joke. That's them letting you know from their belief system, like, hey, if something happens to you, this doesn't fall back on us because we showed you.
Did it, they could say, ah, well, if it was done on purpose, which as we've just deciphered, it must have been, why are they doing this? And I don't think many people understand why.
But that's all I got. These people are out in the open with it. These people are showing you that they're trying to normalize it and get you okay and get us okay with it. But they're also showing us, as he said, that is going on, whether we choose to believe it or not, that is going on. Because the question again, you could ask, man, how could somebody do this? How could somebody do this? One of the reasons why we have become so compliant as a nation with a lot of things, that a lot of these leaders and all of these elite are getting to the point to where they are now just showing us that we're puppets or pawns in their chess game, that we just comply with what they say and we just fall in line with what they do, and we don't ask any questions, we don't have any objections, we don't protect our children, we just let them do whatever, while we just sit by and let this thing go on. When the truth is that people are, they got it twisted. People are speaking up, and people are speaking out. It may not be the ones that we wanted to, as far as like celebrities and things like that. But you see, we're coming to a point as people where we're realizing and figuring out that they're really not for us, and they never were. It looked good and sounded good when things weren't as radical as they are now, when things weren't just as wild as they are now. It looked good, it sounded good, but in actuality now, when the pressure really kicking on, and we really begin to see who's for who, then we see that the celebrities are definitely revealing themselves and who they actually are. But that's fine, that's cool, and that's okay, because again, as I said, these people thought that they were going to get away with it, but we the people spoke up and speaking out, and we're still speaking out, and we're still condemning that type of behavior. And we're even calling a lot of the celebrities and athletes and politicians out on their bluffs as well, because it's straight, because we're letting them know as we the people, this is the line that you're not going to cross. Point blank, plain and simple.
Swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth. Put my hands on the Bible, y'all point me to the booth.